Alrighty, I am ready to start now.
Right.
Welcome
Okay.
to Fable Table, where we discuss
Wasn't
oddly
there like an
named
orangutan
Vietnamese
in that
restaurants.
one?
The best
Fine.
Vietnamese
You know
restaurant was
what?
called
You know what,
Big
Andy?
Tan.
Fine. No. There. Go, Andy.
What?
You're doing the intro.
Welcome to
Oh.
Fable Table, where we discuss interesting named Vietnamese restaurants and the virtues of various YA novel plot devices.
I love them all.
I am your host, Andrew Gutzmer. Nick is taking a backseat today while we figure out how to destroy a insurmountable puzzle made up of NPCs
Yes.
that are annoying.
That are annoying.
Take it away, John.
Nice.
Guys, welcome. Where we learn to have fun in gaming. I'm Apollo_Nick, also known as John Dungeon Master. We're playing Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game tonight. I brought the PDFs. We're gonna remake our characters and ignore whatever is on the screen in front of us right now. Do you want to be a shipwrecker? What about a peasant? You
my
could
God.
become a baker if you wanted.
Well, now hang on a second.
It's true. You could.
Wait, is this
Oh,
Warhammer
I
or
thought
Warhammer
Warhammer-
40k?
This is Warhammer. Oh my god.
I thought
Fucking take us
Warhammer was
home.
the game
Guys,
where
thank you
you
so
have
much for
mechs.
coming. We will be seeing you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Postal Standard Time. See ya.
Yes, postal standard.
I'm still sticking.
I'm going postal if you don't start the show, Nick.
Okay,
Let's go.
well, that was our,
Okay.
we'll call that our April Fool's intro. It is now April 6th, and we are late to the party. What's
We're
that?
5 days late.
All
love
right,
you
so today we are actually continuing our game of Dungeon World in Song of the Ravenlands. How is everyone doing today? Do we need to go over how we're doing today, or do we just want to dive into this shit?
Oh, you know. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We
Okay.
leave.
Go ahead,
We leave, Nick. We go.
Okay. So,
Would you like to recap the audience,
I was
Nick?
gonna
'Cause
say,
it
our
has been
last
about
episode
2
was
weeks
2
since
weeks
we
ago,
played.
so we should remind people
Yes.
how fucked we are.
yeah, let's remind the audience how fucked. Let's remind ourselves how fucked we are.
We're fucked.
We're fucked. Okay,
We did it.
we did it. We're fucked.
In the last episode, we ran Naruto style across the rooftops of this town, and did not roll correctly on any of the fights, and now we've all kind of been corralled into the center of this battle.
Yes.
Cockney was killing it. She was like dipping down, cutting people's throats, flying back up to the rooftop. She was like,
She was assassin, like Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed, dropping down and deleting people and then disappearing into shadow.
I will be honest and say that I have fantasized about that in my real life more than once.
Awesome.
Definitely more than once.
Wick, you creeped in through the tunnel that these like rodent demons created, that allowed the Rust Brothers into the city past all the defenses. You followed through invisible and tried to take out Iron Brother Bishop here, the leader of the Rust Brothers in this area, and he has your family's sword, which has been like sustaining him. He's been taking some hits, but as like people are dying around him, he's just like the blade is drawing life force from dying people, and his injuries are being healed like almost instantly. You all kind of fell into the shit together, along with all of the grave wardens and city guards here, and you've been kind of cornered. We talked about potentially retconning that last, like the interpretation of that last roll, John? Is that something you're interested in, or should we just move forward? I feel like since we're at
there
the
to reinterpret?
well, you noted that on a failure for cast a spell, it says that the spell fails. But I narrated the spell happening and some other just stupid shit happening with like even more Rust Brothers and undead showing up. But you had
I mean,
kind
it
of
doesn't really matter.
okay. So
I just wanted you to see what I saw in that moment.
fair.
And you know what I see now?
What do you see now?
A very weak left flank, which I believe is where we're going.
Yes.
We
So
need to set the scene some more.
yeah. So we behind the scenes, just as a quick housekeeping item, I posted some information for y'all. I didn't actually check in to see if everyone had read it, but we've been kind of doing combat a little wrong. And rather than narrating like very minute 6-second rounds and everyone being able to take an action, roles should be encompassing like larger, sweeping, like what is your strategy in this moment of dealing with this problem, not like what do you do in the next 3 seconds or 6 seconds. So let's try and kind of paint in broader strokes with our actions as we tell this story. But to set the scene, all of you are, along with the Grave Wardens, are kind of being crowded into this tight formation, a la 300, tightly packed together, holding off the undead, but barely. And the Rust Brothers and their minions are kind of creeping in from all directions. And as Wick is pointing out, there is a kind of weak open, at least an open direct path to the west. And Cacophony, from up on the rooftop above, you can see that to the east, or to the west, there is in fact another force fighting, heading this way. And that group is being led by none other than Rick Moss, who is in his full Moss regalia. They are fighting this way. They seem to be in better shape than you all. So if you all can get to them, or at least hold out until they make it here, you all may have a chance. So Wick, you are in the middle of this tight formation. Basil and Chives, you all are kind of holding off a couple of undead to the west. Merrick, I think you're holding point on the south as a lot of undead are coming this way. And at this point, we're just going to kind of like use theater of the mind. I'm not going to bother moving around like every single token unless it's like absolutely necessary. But things are really grim and dire at this point. What do you all do? What's the plan here? All of the Grave Wardens are looking to you, Wick, for instruction.
I can give a couple of orders, if you guys would like, of what John/Wick has put together in this singular moment.
Didn't we discuss a flying bee, Mighty Ducks situation?
Yeah. Basically, what Wick is gonna do, obviously there's like a battle tongue that the Moss family knows. It's like a quick code, or like blue 42 down set. So I'm going to designate Basil as the new actual, which means that everyone should follow his lead. And I'm going to yell at Merrick, who does not know our code, to follow Basil. As everyone follows Basil this direction, Wick is going to play rear guard.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All
We
right.
push forward.
We push forward.
All right.
Coffee is still on the rooftop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not
Okay, so
worried
she's
about you.
gonna
You can
she's
fucking
gonna
fly.
dip out and Naruto herself over to the other side where everybody else is, because she's separated from the rest of the group.
Okay, sounds good. There may be some opportunities then for you to like aid or interfere. You could always use oh my god, the discern realities, especially from up here. You'd I think get your +1 from your racial talent, and I think Wick kind of rallying and organizing all of the Grave Wardens is definitely an opportunity for like aid interfere, as Merrick and Basil are kind of leading this charge. So what does that look like for y'all, Merrick and Basil?
I think Merrick is moving behind Basil, pushing Grave Wardens to either side, trying to stay in the center, looking for people who are taking hits and picked off to maybe heal. And then as we get closer to Iron Brother Pine, I think Merrick would like to cast a spell on Chives. As the Ibex runs and dives forward at Basil's side, I would like to cast Cause Fear on Iron Brother Pine and make him afraid of Chives as Chives dashes towards it.
I was
Excellent.
actually gonna say, it might look like Basil is leading, but it's actually Chives. He's in front.
All right. Go ahead and give me your cast a spell, Merrick.
That's an 8.
Yes.
I think at this point I will let the spell be revoked after it is cast.
Okay.
I was gonna say we don't get Chives' command bonus for that, right?
Not for cast a spell, no. But as you and Chives are kind of leading the charge, all of the Grave Wardens behind you, we'll just use a simple hack and slash to represent just kind of like the charge forward and how that goes. You are, let's see, what does Cause Fear do? Choose a target you can see in a nearby object. The target is afraid of the object. We'll say that Chives counts as an object, so long as you maintain the spell. It's definitely the skull or the shield.
I was gonna say it's the skull on his horn.
Yep.
It's just starting to rattle.
Yeah. Their reaction is up to them. Flee, panic, beg, fight. While this spell is ongoing, you take -1 to cast a spell. And you cannot target entities with animal intelligence. Okay. Well, this definitely works on Rust Brothers. What does that look like as you cast this on the shield or the skull on Chives? Or on Chives himself?
I think it's more of I think I grab my holy symbol and the snake eyes on it glow red, and then the skull on Chives' head also has its eyes glow red, and it just sears and stares down Iron Brother Pine.
Very
As
nice.
Chives dashes forward.
Excellent. Okay. Yes. So, Basil, you are charging in. I'm going to have you roll a hack and slash to represent this whole charge. But Wick is going to be aiding or interfering if he likes.
I am definitely going to be aiding him.
Okay.
There's no way in hell that I'm not. You know, he's a locomotive. I'm the trolley, right? We're a train.
Uh-huh.
What's the modifier for hack and slash or whatever?
Strength.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what you're using. What are your?
I got the little swords.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of running and stabbing.
I just want to take a
You
look
like
at
a
those
lot,
really
yeah.
quickly. They're the short swords, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Both
so
close
I
range.
think melee weapons that use dex have like precise as a tag on them,
Yeah, short swords shouldn't.
but your short swords do not. So you would use strength for this hack and slash. But
All right.
first,
Oop.
let's get.
Oh!
Oh my god,
Don't need assist.
Oh my god, that's a double
Damn.
6 right there.
that is insane.
Should I even? Do you want me to?
You
Yeah,
can
why
interfere
not?
And still, he would
Okay,
succeed.
we're Gucci here.
Yeah.
We're in sync.
So that's a 14 plus the fear. Yeah. So yeah, I think that this ultimately goes as best it can. You all just start like charging. Chives is like gut punching with his horns into Rust Brothers as they're attempting to cast spells and cut at him, and they're trying to do the same to you, Basil and Merrick, and many of the other Grave Wardens that are at your side and behind you. Wick, you are holding up the rear, which is rather intense. The Rust Brothers. What's that?
Of course, that's why I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Rust Brothers are letting like their undead be their fodder. So it is like just regular zombies, but also some of these kind of like variant undead that we described last time as being like way more active, and some are even like reanimated soldiers from the Alder Wars, and like they are using weapons proficiently. But you are like holding them off, and it becomes apparent to them that their undead are not going to cut it, so they unleash their demons, these rodent demons after you. They have green kind of feathery fur, on their, rodent-like bodies, and their mouths just look like a tiny little sarlacc pit. They just are completely circular with like just jutting teeth everywhere. But you are managing to hold them off and keep everyone safe. So you all begin to make progress towards Rick Moss and his group, who are holding their own. And this is not to say that there are not casualties along the way. Like, you all are overrun. Like, there are too many Rust Brothers and Undead. They have powerful magic and weapons. There are Grave Wardens and City Guard who are being cut down and picked off along the way. But overall, things are good. And it looks like, okay, we're gonna rejoin Rick Moss. And as you all make it to the other end, Basil, since you and Chives are leading the way, it is you who first make contact with the other Grave Wardens. And Rick Moss is there to greet you as he cuts through a Rust Brother and says, "Well, young boy and Chives, I'm glad to see you here. I thought you all had left."
Chives rattles his skull on his horn as if to say, "The fuck do you think we would do? Let you hang out to dry?"
I'll admit, I tried contacting Wick, but he wasn't responding, and I lit the firework, and I feared you wouldn't make it in time, or something had happened. And he's parrying with a Rust Brother and Undead as the rest of you come together. And I think that the two bodies of of Grave Wardens kind of merge together, and now you all have kind of a bigger force. And as you filter into the group, as you were holding up the rear wick, Rick is there as well, and he says, "Boy,
Wait, why is he coming to the rear?
the two forces are kind of merging into a large circle, or a large force with a bigger perimeter. And he's the one kind of directing everyone. He's taking point on all right, everyone, spread the formation out here, and eventually you kind of are the last person to join this new larger force."
I yell at him and tell him to get out of the fucking city. We gotta go, Chief.
There are many other Rust Brothers that way as well. They have other of these digging demons. We are unfortunately at the center.
What do you suggest then? Can't stay here.
As much as I hate to say it, I think we need to retreat from the city and leave it to the Rust Brothers if we're to survive.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds good.
Pick a direction, Chief.
All right.
Take a tunnel out.
Yes,
I say we go north and try to connect with the other people who are in the hills.
Very good. And then he shouts another one of these playbook commands, and everyone just starts moving north.
Yeah.
Cacophony, you're kind of hanging out above all of this, right?
Yes.
Or are you rejoining the group?
I think I'm doing more of the dipping down when I can. But overall, just kind of keeping watch on the rooftops to I think Cacophony is okay, there's somebody coming up on your left flank or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think especially for as the demons are approaching, they move really fast, and then there are some of these wolfkin undead in particular move really fast, and then you notice that there are a couple Selkie undead who are flying in the air, and they've kind of grouped up and are getting ready, they are flying way up, getting ready to do a bit of a dive bomb, a kamikaze run, if you will.
Can I throw my daggers at them to take them out?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a volley.
Oh my god. I get so nervous when I have to.
Oh my god.
Hey-o.
Nick, we've got to be cutting them all down at this point. We're rolling too good.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of them, and
They're
they brought.
not incountable.
They're not, but I
So
think
I hit the other Raven sisters though, or the other Selkie Crow.
these are just
Selkies?
Selkie. They are not Raven sisters. Go ahead and roll your damage for me as you fling a couple of daggers in their direction. A 5. All right. So you take out 2 of them, but there is one that you don't quite that you clip, but you don't quite kill them. They dive into the group and take out a couple of grave wardens before others cut this last one down. Oh, thank you, Valid, for another sub. Okay. So as you all are heading north with the group, there are even more undead and Rust Brothers all throughout the city. Like, they are going... The Rust Brothers are clearly here in force for full occupation. But there, towards the north, there is another one of these holes, but there is one of these rodent demons in the way. Rick, rather, looks to all of you. Do we head for the tunnel through the demon, or do we head for the northern gate?
Through the demon.
Fuck it, let's go for the tunnel, I guess.
Okay.
They can collapse it on us, but they can't
Fight a
surround
big
us.
stupid rat.
Yeah.
I
Right.
rush forward, ignoring my teammates, and try to go kill it in one hit.
Okay. Yeah, so you rush out through the line. The Grave Wardens around you make sure to cover you and take care of all the undead and Rust Brothers as you face off with this demon. Let me pull up their stats really quickly. Okay. You don't see any eyes under the fur of its face, but this I have written down Vole Demon. It just comes charging at you with its little sarlacc pit mouth, attempting to bite at you. Give me a hack and slash. That's a 10.
That is a 10.
You can deal your damage and avoid their
It
attack.
can hit me. I
You're
want to
gonna...
see how much damage it does.
All right.
Boom! Plus 1d6. Boom!
That is
Nice.
13
Ignoring
damage.
2 armor.
Holy shit.
Do I kill it in one hit, Nick?
Let me roll my damage.
I really want to get out of here, guys. Get me to the hills.
Okay, take 3 damage. My damage is the best of 2d6, so 3 damage with
Any
2
armor
piercing.
pierce?
2 piercing.
All right, I take. You said 3.
3 damage.
Okay, I take 1 damage.
Do you only have 2 armor?
I have 5 armor, but I'm down 1 because I got sorted, so now I'm down to 4 armor.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
All right. Yeah. So it shreds into like past a little bit of your armor, teeth sinking in, but you just like decapitate this thing and make very quick work of it. There are a couple more Grave Wardens that fall in the process, but you all make it to the tunnel and begin to descend.
Eric will hang back to the end in case any Rust Brothers cast spells at us on the way out. And then
Yeah.
we'll try to run through
Wipe
out the
it.
back with Basil.
Yeah. Can I get just one more roll from everyone else, Basil, Merrick, and Cacophony, just to kind of represent how well you jive with the Grave Wardens? And basically, I'm just going to use this as a measure of like how many Grave Wardens do we lose along the way.
What are we rolling?
Just like anything to represent your like full 110% attempts to like keep everyone alive and yourself. And if you want to tell me like Merrick, it sounds like is focusing on healing and protecting people,
Yep.
keeping everyone up. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, that was very pitiful. I rolled Dex, and that's my shit. and I got
Okay.
a 6, so I
Looks like
failed.
She just runs. She just runs for it.
No, I don't think. Well, maybe she does. She is. She looks out for number one. But I think more than that, I think it's just that the Grave Wardens don't fucking like her.
Mm,
I think they find her to be really unpleasant, and they're not wrong. She is. She is a really horribly unpleasant person. So
yeah. Do you think it's also maybe that like you're less accustomed to warfare, like full war and
oh yeah,
I mean, there's
she's
also like Iron Brothers here who are like the most armored out soldiers we've seen on screen.
absolutely. I think Cacophony, she thrives, you know, in like a small town or a city environment where she can pick pockets and like just kind of like be in and out and like hang back in the shadows, and she likes to play cards and steal people's money. Like that's her favorite thing. So this is definitely not something that she's used to.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, fuck this. Y'all keep your honor. I'm gonna go, like, I'm hightailing it out of here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not looting in this destroyed city.
I want to so bad. You have no idea.
Just set
I wish
fire
we
to
had
everything.
time.
I wish you were a firebug. Ugh.
So Shadow,
Burn all
Merrick
Yes.
is doing the best he can to keep people healed and protected, and finding the moments to take down a Rust Brother here and there or an undead. But it just the timing is difficult. Like people are getting cut down at the same moments, and you're having to like pick and choose and make decisions about who gets to live and who gets to die, and they're unfortunately not. You can't save
everybody in a
everyone.
rout.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you do manage to help a lot of people out. Cacophony is struggling to kind of flow with the group, with the force. But Basil and Chives are just
Hero.
being badasses.
I am picking up injured Grave Wardens and just putting them onto chives like a pack mule.
Nice.
Yeah.
Medical goat. All hail.
Wee woo, wee woo. The glowing eyes on the skull are spinning around.
Are now sirens. Yeah. That helps to light the way through the tunnel as well.
I
Yes.
would very much like to see you draw that. Ambulance chives.
All right.
my God.
We'll make a note for that.
So yeah, I think
Ambulance.
overall, since we had one failure, one average, and one complete success, I think overall you all managed to keep a lot of people alive, a lot of soldiers, and keep yourselves from serious harm. But we lose a lot of Grave Wardens along the way.
I don't know. 5 total successes, Nick. There's got to be, come on.
Yeah,
Give us some more people.
yeah. I mean, like you're right. Out of a bunch of rolls, those are a lot of 10 pluses and only one failure. So like, this could have gone a lot worse.
80% of them live.
Yeah.
70?
Yeah, I'd say so. 80% sounds good.
All right, I'll take
I'm
it.
good with that. We retreat, tail between our legs,
Yeah.
north to
hills.
the hills.
I
To the undead pursuit.
Yeah, I think the most important thing here is that thanks to Wick's quick thinking, the Grave Wardens kind of like pulled into ranks really quickly, and kind of like being able to quickly cover for each other allowed the escape to happen in the first place. Otherwise, people were so spread out that it was going to be a complete loss. And so I think as an escape is made, you all make it past the gates through the underground tunnel. There is another one of these like just groups of undead and one Rust Brother kind of along the perimeter of the city, but you all cut through them very easily and start heading towards the gold mine to the north. So let's take a look at our world map as you all head out. Okay.
We run away. No one. Okay.
Yes. Very good. Okay, so you all make it out. No worse for wear. And a lot of the grave wardens are just looking completely just
Mentally defeated
I
or
think
physically drained?
I think they are they are appearing mentally defeated, but they are carrying on. Like this is fresh, and they still don't feel out of combat as you all are hiking
It's not over yet.
to the gold mine. Yeah, like in their minds, this is not over yet. What is the feeling to you all? Like the Rust brothers have basically taken the hollows. Like all of the defenses, all of the soldiers basically who are left had to leave. What is your feeling? What are your feelings about this?
Merrick is pissed. There's no way this type of force should have been able to get here without us knowing about it beforehand. This was way more than we could have even defended against. We should have abandoned the city at the start. But now he's determined. Now it's time for some guerrilla warfare. We're going to cut off supplies. We're going to cut off their retreat. Yes, John. We're going to dance like a gorilla through the hills.
Guerrilla warfare.
I don't think Cacophony had any like super strong feelings about the town in general. I think it was more just like the people. I think like she had a handful of people that she gave a shit about, specifically like some of the kids, you know, and they're not there now. So to her, it's like these are just buildings. I know that it's like our home or their home or whatever, but they're just buildings. Like the place that makes it home is like, you know, the people that you can like share and in a life with or steal from, as the case may be. So
this feels like a success to Cacophony that
we're alive. Absolutely. Like we didn't like the people that she gives a shit about like did not die. She feels like, I don't know that she feels badly about the grave wardens that died because she doesn't know them personally. I think that she has a hard time connecting and feeling empathy or sadness for people that she doesn't know. She's not like glad that they're dead, but she's just like, that sucks. And she's not, everybody that she actually cares about isn't in the town. So yeah, they left alive and that's good for her.
Awesome. What about you, Basil?
I don't feel a ton of loyalty to the people. I'm kind of happy to be going back into the mountains where I feel like I'm more on my home turf, and this craziness has just been like a lot, and I felt like shanghaied into this from the beginning. So you know, I think Basil is ready to kind of move away from what he perceives as the drama.
Yeah. Ready to move on. What about you, Wick?
I feel good. Are you kidding? All my enemies are in one burnable location. This is the best pot. Not everyone got out, but in combat, you know, you take what you can get. And you know what? Wick was feeling a little lost, and now he's got that purpose again. He thought he was gonna have to go storm like a dwarven fucking house, or hold, or pit, or whatever. But now, his greatest friend and foe is right here. This is great.
Yeah. You. This is probably the first time you've seen Iron Brother Bishop. Since you were betrayed.
It's the happening.
Is the happening. So, there's an interest in setting fire to the town. It sounds like, at least for you.
They came here for a reason. We should deny them that reason. And if we don't know what it is, we gotta just get everything. You know what I mean, guys? Houses can be rebuilt. Graves can be redug.
How powerful is our stone singer?
Not very.
Damn. Okay.
He made like 3 hills in like half an hour.
mean, he rocked it in the fight we were in with him, so
That's true. I guess I was
He's-
thinking more like
he's
we
good in
could
a
burn
fight.
them, but wouldn't it be better to like bury them alive? I don't know.
be more in line with the Grave Warden kind of ethics
Ooh.
or aesthetics. I mean,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm dark. I don't know what I.
let's undermine the hollows and just sink it into the earth.
Maximum
it.
suffering. Do it.
Mm.
Which is
Go
what maybe
down a
maybe we
rat.
get maybe we find a
Except
couple
for-
of stone
I-
singer friends.
I will
Except
also
that
say,
you know-
on reflection, Basil is also really fucking annoyed because originally, but before it was what do we do? Fight demons? Go where? He was the one who was like, let's go north and join the people in the mountains, and we would be part of a much stronger force if that was the case.
Would we though? Would we have
I
any
go
Grave
up.
Wardens with us?
We need to have a scene, actually. This is all happening in character now. We are the last four watching the others go up to the mountains to regroup. Rick's somewhere, his old bones. Someone's probably carrying his old bitch ass at this point.
He's on track.
And we four, the heroes, the true heroes, coalesce. And Wick looks at none other than Basil with a new light of appreciation. He strides right up to him. Basil's significantly taller than Wick, but it doesn't matter. He feels bigger than he is in this moment. And he offers Basil a hand of brotherhood. Basil,
You take it. You leave
you
him hanging.
saved a lot of my people's lives.
Snap.
Could have saved more if you weren't busy faffing around in the hills with your friend and sending us after demons that wasted our time.
True.
I'll give
I
you
agree.
Basil gives you a brotherly elbow.
I will take the elbow in my hand and shake it vigorously.
And then he puts a lavender sprig in your hair.
Perfect. I stare at
Classic
Merrick, who
Basil.
looks injured.
Merrick does look injured. Merrick, do you
I
need
am pretty
bandages?
injured.
Merrick, you good, bro?
No.
You good, man?
I'll heal myself when the Grave Wardens are feeling better.
Ah, they're fine.
This
Got-
is like
Poultices if you need a good heal. Yeah.
No, I've got healing spells left over that I'm going to use first. But Merrick will look over across Cacophony and Basil. Like, wait, what now? Our town is lost.
For now.
Why do you think they decided to come here in such force?
We have like the only farmable land close to their main headquarters.
We'll have to do some reconnaissance to see what they're up to now that they've got control of the town.
Sure.
I think this
and
is
who better
a,
to sneak in?
I was gonna say I think this
Yeah.
is now a spy and plotting revenge arc after this point.
Hmm.
We should also decide what we can do to hamper them. We could either take some Grave Wardens
Ooh.
and lie in wait in the farms to try to stop them when they go for food. We could go to
Poison the
south.
crops.
Well, if we poison the crops, then we'll all starve too. I don't like that idea.
Honestly,
some
we
sort of,
haven't
like-
even had our first spring harvest yet. We should be fine. Well,
There's also
actually,
the
no,
option-
we're kind of fucked, actually.
Nick, are the Rust brothers like occupying the town, like moving their army in and killing literally everybody, or are they like invading, like colonizing fascist style, like just running everyone's lives who's still there,
I
like
think
taking over?
Rick
We
would
know that
be
yet?
Rick would probably be the one to give you the answer. And he describes when they showed up, they demanded that we turn over the Raven sister. We, of course, as planned, denied that she had been here and any knowledge of her, and they said they knew otherwise. And it was clear that they didn't believe us and that they had caught us in our lie. But we attempted to save face and said we would be willing to make a generous tribute. They did not care. They demanded to know about the Raven sister. and they had begun to surround the city with their undead. We didn't see the demons until it was too late. They were digging up through areas of the town, but they seemed only interested in catching us off guard and eliminating the grave wardens and city guards folk. They did not seem interested in destroying property or harming the citizens of the Hollows. I believe they intend to occupy, make an example out of many of our people, and make the town their own.
We have for a fascist resistance.
Indeed, we will. We will regroup
Hang
and.
on. Wait. What do you mean by fascist resistance?
I mean a resistance to fascists.
Okay, just checking there.
I knew what you meant, Basil.
A green dragon.
Wick, use some common sense, boy.
Oh,
you know how Basil do.
If there's one thing Basil appreciates, it is the guerrilla pranking that encourages a resistance ideology amongst an oppressed people. So let's start ruining the days of some Rust Brothers in that town.
That sounds fantastic.
We should go now. They'll never expect to re-engage after a disengage,
immediately.
Right?
Somebody take him out. Somebody take Wick out. Quick.
Oh, like you?
Wick, we have injured. We need to regroup and strategize.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you guys, but... Okay, yeah, sure, let's go do that.
You want to go back and re-engage right now.
Well, I was gonna go hit up the farms first, but... You know. Cut them off
Actually,
at the, chase.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that we should try and get as much food as we can. So that we can make new crops if we have to. I know I'm agreeing with Wick for the first time ever. Somebody fucking mark it on a calendar.
Oh my
But
God,
no, we should go take
holiday.
care. I know. We should go take care of all the food that we can right now, get crops so that we can make new crops after we poison the remaining stuff that is there.
You got enough
So
poison
that
on
we
you,
can
sister?
kill the Rust Brothers.
I have
killing
a thought
poison as much as just like diarrhea poisons. Like I feel like we don't have like murder poisons. They're just gonna make it harder for us to come back there.
There's not a lot of poisons that just outright kill that we have access to.
This world is bullshit. I
agree.
Now, can we use?
I want
Onwards,
to put a drop of poison into someone's old-fashioned and then whoosh myself away and just let.
Merrick will bang his axe against his shield a few times to stop the bickering. We'll say,
Okay.
do none of you remember that all of our compatriots, all of our family members are in this town? We
Speak
poison
for
the food
yourself.
source. I will ignore Basil for a moment. If we poison the food source, we hurt everyone. Our goal is to hurt the Rust Brothers, not to hurt the people of the town.
Why we poisoned the water instead. We can always walk for more water. Creek's just down the wind, but
How does that stop the people in town from... How does that give the people in town water to drink then, if we poison the water?
what? They walk to the creek.
During this talk about drinks and foods, suddenly Basil drops to his knees and pounds his fists on the dirt and screams because he just realized that all the gin is still in the town in that shed.
Yeah, Cedric is still in the town.
Our most flammable source.
Okay, wait, he's in the town. He supplies the alcohol. That's our first ally in the resistance.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to this cave. We'll talk about it
Let's-
later once
let's
you guys
regroup.
are rested.
Yep.
We walk to the hills.
Okay.
we making sure that we're not being followed, by the way? Can we
Yeah.
just
We
like
deploy countermeasures as we walk to the hills.
There we go. Thank you.
What the
Thank-
fuck?
Yes.
Our countermeasure would be Cacophony, who has good eyes and high mobility, who can maybe get a nice high perch in the hill and see if anybody's following us as we move down the other side.
You got a branch. Get a bunch of sticks with it. Start covering our tracks.
What? I don't see any footprints, but I do see a trail of sticks and
drag marks.
Brush.
And here, look.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This spot of the drag marks.
Oh, look at me! I'm suddenly the survivalist undead. Ha!
It's like an
These
arrow
undead are gonna track us so well without any eyeballs anyway. Fuck it. Flash forward to the gold mine.
All right. So, I think it is at dawn that you all make it to the gold mine. I think I have some good music for this.
Sunrise music?
No, it's more tension music, but it's mine music. Oh, that is almost too ominous.
I regret that I cannot hear any of this.
You can't?
No.
Refresh your roll 20, and you might be able to hear it.
I don't think I've ever been able to hear the music in roll 20.
Turn on your audio.
You have
roll 20.
Yeah, is your browser muted?
It is not.
Is opening?
There is a master music volume under the gear tab in the upper right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
Is yours all the way down at 0?
It sure isn't. It's at halfway.
And I have no idea why you can't hear it.
Maybe it's a cogwheel in roll 20.
Nor I.
Audio
Chief.
and video.
Yeah, it's it's the worst. I don't know. I've been trying to figure this out for months now. Every time you guys are like, "Ooh, that's a good song," I'm like, "I'll hear it in post."
Okay, we'll work on it some other time. So you arrive at the gold mine, and just as you arrive, you hear a whistling sound, and the kind of blocked off entrance to the mine begins to descend into the earth. And there, whistling, is Hogue Marystone, the Dwarven stone singer. And how did it go? Not well, it would seem, by the appearance of some of the Grave Wardens.
In response, Chives dumps his load of injured Grave Wardens at Hogue's feet.
And
poorly, Hogue.
Cacophony, you confirmed that you all were not being followed throughout the night. You can, fly up above again just to double check. It's pretty kind of like barren land around here, so there's they couldn't really approach hiding. That is, unless they were tunneling underground with their vole demons. But if they are, there's nothing you can do about that right now. Hogue says, very well. We set up yesterday, and we can tend to the wounded, and we have food prepared if any of you be needing any. And you can see that they've kind of camping style set up inside the gold mine around the entrance. There are other folk like Fawn and Selkie who have been apparently exploring the gold mine. And there is a couple patrols that are out right now. Hogue and Dola tell you all that haven't returned in quite some time. And it has them a little nervous, but there's a lot of gold mine to explore. So it's not unexpected that things might be taking a little long, but they may need some help searching for a lost patrol in a little bit. But you all are able to get some rest, get some food in your belly, and have any scenes with anyone that you're interested in.
Is Kevin here?
Kavan?
Vaughn.
Kavan is here, yes.
Is he still a prisoner?
He is still a prisoner.
I want to go talk to him real quick.
Yeah.
Well, if we get hungry and we run low on food, we can always eat Kavan. So.
Yes, cannibalism. Casually talked about it, yeah.
Crows eat everything. So
I'm just saying, Nick did not let me talk about cannibalism.
that's
I'm gonna
true.
enforce-
We're
Yeah,
not-
that was a
We're not doing cannibalism in this
Nope.
season.
damn it. All right, that's fair.
Next season, though.
If,
Don't you
if-
worry. I'll push for it, really. I want to go talk to Kevin,
All right.
our boy.
Kavan is surprisingly he is helping out with preparing food. They have him basically.
Peeling taters.
I don't think they would give him a knife. Some sort of preparation that doesn't involve
Using his teeth.
Mashing
taters.
taters with a mallet.
maybe
Trying to
Burning
think of like the
butter.
most benign, like stirring pudding
basically
with like a rubber spoon.
Yeah.
So.
What's rubber? No, okay. I need to go talk to Kevin.
Come on.
Hey, buddy.
Yes. What can I? Oh.
Does he look at me with a newfound light as if I am his god's chosen champion?
No.
Good. Just checking.
It's you. What do you want some food? We just put it on the fire, but should be
No, I'm
ready
good.
in a few minutes.
Just checking to see how you're doing, how you're holding up.
Well, there's some really awkward music playing that the GM needs to change, but otherwise I'm doing okay.
I hate that. When you just start hearing music in your mind.
Mm.
It's very dramatic. if
It
we're
is very
listening to the
dramatic. Yeah,
same song.
we're gonna cut that out. See if we can find a better track.
All right, well, keep making, I don't know, good efforts and not being a piece of shit. I pat him on the back, affectionately.
Thanks. I've spending time with all of your people. It's reminded me what it's like to live in community, and like I said before, the Veilers can be very convincing.
I don't need your apology.
Well, I look forward to proving to everyone that I can pull my own weight here.
I as well. And I leave him at that.
Okay.
Is
Are you afraid of me? I want to know.
I think he is cautious of you, because y'all fought and hurt him. But,
We had it coming.
yeah,
I
he's
did
not.
advocate not to have him die, though.
Yes. He is he's just being cautious around you.
That's fine. I need his trust.
Mm.
he's also in a cult deprogramming process, so
For now.
he needs nourishing trust and love.
I think he looks kind of ashamed when you say you won't accept an apology from him.
Well, yeah, his words mean nothing. He has to prove himself.
Mm.
The hardest of trials to get true forgiveness.
Well,
Assume in response he starts even more vigorously stirring whatever he's stirring.
yeah, he's like, oh well, it looks like we have quite a few more mouths to feed, and he shouts something at another one of the folks in the kitchen area, and they're like, we're gonna need to make another pot, and they all start chopping vegetables.
Nice. Look at that. Taking a little leadership position.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibility makes people so much easier to forgive. Okay. I'm done. That's it.
All right.
Basil, before we get too cozy after we arrive, grabs Hogue and anyone else who's interested. It probably would be good, since the Rust Brothers are taking over the Hollows, to install some earthen traps and like early warning systems in the roads leading up to the hills, the passes, and everything, because we're not that far from them. So,
Ditches.
yeah, but well, ditches that are, you know, magical, maybe not magically, but dwarven engineering, designed to send specific noises and chimes so that we can hear, you know.
Can he make a pocket of like air within dirt?
Yeah, he did that before for y'all.
Yeah,
where
he was making traps.
yeah, he like dug out a big area, but then he like replaced the cover, so that it created like a very thin layer that when stepped on would be falling
Yeah,
through.
but I mean like on a deeper scale. So if like something came tunneling, you know how like sappers would in their anti-sapper technique or tactics, they dig like opposite trenches or tunnels. That way they get underneath their guys's like whoever is trying to invade them and knock down all the dirt on top of them, suffocating them to death.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've watched Peaky Blinders, where the main character was, I think, a sapper in the war, but
Those
I know
guys were crazy.
yeah, he is like fucked up, and I know that like being underground can be very claustrophobic, especially when like in wartime when you like have no idea what the fuck is going to happen, and it's very high risk. But I know very little about strategy and tactics of underground tunneling.
For history nerds out there, if you don't care about World War One, Siege of Malta in the 1500s also has some amazing tunneling stories of people trying to take down entire castle walls by tunneling. So
wow.
Same with Vienna against the Ottomans. Those guys. Oh,
wow.
Like 3 months of just anti-tunneling campaigns, basically.
Well, unfortunately, Hogue. Dwarves have never had to like they have never had a lot of infighting, so like being stone singers and the only people that can move earth, they haven't really had to fight anyone with tunneling. So Hogue
hence why Basil will help him with his wilderness trapping knowledge, and go out and help design traps with him.
Yeah. So he is very willing and capable to create like those surface level traps, but deep underground tunneling, that takes a lot of time. And to set up like a full perimeter,
I'm not talking about deep tunnels.
Okay.
We're talking early warning system.
Yeah, I'm talking about some ditches that might even to an incoming enemy might be just a shallow enough depression that they might not even think it was anything, but sets off some sort of wind noise that lets us know people are coming who didn't know the traps were there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You're of a mine shaft. Can we do that?
Seal the mine?
Well, the Hollows is like on a flat plain, and we're up in them hills.
Yeah.
So if they're like looking up, we could in theory just like make a ridge line like 20 feet away and just make it, you know, like 10 feet high, and that should obscure most of the mine, if not the entire mine entrance, depending on how big it is.
Interesting.
Well, Rick has a couple of Grave Wardens just like a little bit above the entrance, just kind of scouting and keeping an eye out. So they are the early warning system. But
we'll see them no matter what.
Hogue says, if you think I should prepare some traps and defenses and other early warning systems, I can, and he gets to work on that.
Cool.
Okay.
I think Merrick would go seeking out Rick.
Merrick, I'm glad you and the others came back for us. Thank you. What can I do for you?
I'm glad you set the firework. We wouldn't have known. Well, what is your next plan of action here, Rick?
We
many things we could do, but I want to know what your plan is first.
My predecessors have never been in this situation before, so it is difficult to rely on wisdom from my father and his father, his mother, the past Moss leaders. None of them have faced anything like this. It is a difficult position we find ourselves in, but if we are to rescue our people, I think we need to act swiftly and decisively. So, if you could help mend the wounds of those who are injured, I think we will think it best that we march on the hollows at night tonight.
Immediately?
Yes, before.
Bold play, Rick.
I think the more time the Rust Brothers have to assess the situation in the hollows and exert their iron grip, the worse off it will be.
I'll agree with that, but a frontal assault, even at night, seems scary. Might I suggest a feint?
What do you have in mind?
You have a larger force here, and a strong one at that in the Grey Wardens. Let us be the diversion. Let us be the distraction. We will go somewhere and feint. We will either try to pick off Rust Brothers that are searching out in the hills, draw them out, draw them away, split their forces. Or either go make an attack on the gate and let them chase us out. And while they are distracted and looking one way, you hit from the other side.
They are so great in number. I think the four of you would not be considered a grave threat.
If they're that grave in number, then why are you ready to march up to their gates?
They are our gates, and it is our home. And that is why we must march.
So, suicide before dishonor, then?
He glares at you.
You can be angry with me all you want, but ignoring the logic, ignoring the knowledge of the situation is foolish. A plan that is strong in heart and bravery, but has no endgame, is not a plan at all.
Also, he's still got the rest of the people trapped in there. Like they're hostages. You go in there and you just piss him off, he'll just execute the rest of your people.
The Rust Brothers are not interested in execution for the sake of military strategy. They will kill our people, but as tribute to their god, not as a means of manipulation during war. All the same, we overall are stronger than the Rust Brothers. We are better conditioned, better trained. We are a greater fighting force. They simply caught us off guard with these tricks, with their demons. Had they...
Then might I suggest then a different type of diversion? A challenge. I don't want to speak for him, but we talked to Wick. I'm sure he will be willing to challenge Iron Brother Bishop. We could march to their gate, throw a gauntlet down, and see if he will come out and fight him man on man. At the very least, that will draw their attention. We might not threaten them, but we can certainly insult them. We have that going for us.
And when it becomes clear to the Rust Brothers that this is a diversion and we strike in that moment, they surely will turn on Wick and cut him down.
They will try.
Is he open to this? Was this his foolish idea?
This is my foolish idea, but if I know Wick, I'll be all for it. You should give him more credit. He's done a good job here in these past few months. I know it pains you to give him praise. He may be the spearhead that saves this town. Think on it. I'll go talk to him about it. We'll see if he's up for it. Unless you have a better idea.
I'm open to all ideas. I have a lot to consider, and I will weigh this in my mind as well.
Alright. Merrick will go and heal up some Grave Wardens and himself. And he will go find Wick. But I wonder what Cacophony is doing at this time.
Cacophony went to go find Lynn, I think. She wanted to touch base with her and see how she was coming along with the knife work and, you know, containing her powerful magics.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she just wanted to check in with Lynn and be like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah, so it's really only been like a day since you've seen her, maybe a day and a half. She is preoccupied with keeping a lot of the younger children like entertained and out of trouble. So she is teaching some children some games that like children in her village learned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like to think that they're playing like that ninja game where you're like standing there holding a pose, and then everyone takes turns like leaping and trying to swipe and hit each other's hand.
I hope that's it too.
It's working.
That would be amazing.
It's working really well. The kids love that game.
Nice. Okay. I mean, that she doesn't really like anybody else, so I think she's like, all right, well, if you need anything, I'm over here.
Oh boy, I actually hadn't prepared anything new with her.
It's only been a day.
Yeah.
It's only been a day. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which means that now, like, if we're going to be hanging out in here, Lynn and I have a lot more time to practice her knife work and defensive stances. So
yeah. So I think, like, when she first sees you, I think she runs up and gives you a big hug, and she's like, "I'm so glad you're okay."
Oh. I'm gonna pat.
Let's meet tonight after all the other kids go to sleep. That's when I think I'll be able to practice.
Is there a safe place in here to practice? Some place where we won't get collapsed upon?
Yeah, there's a lot of space deep into the gold mine.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna bring Merrick though when we do this, okay?
Into the deep. We go to the abyss to practice magecraft.
Spoopy.
Lynn, a 70-year-old wizard now.
Cacophony, do you not stay to play their ninja game and like school them in the movement of warfare?
No, I think that children make Cacophony like itchy, just overall. Like she likes them, but just like when there's a lot of like there's too many in an enclosed space. I think that's her problem. Okay, so like when they were out at the swamp, she could be like, "Fuck this," and like fly away. She can't fly away in here. So she's like, "I'm just gonna like moonwalk out of this room and you guys do your ninja shit." And but I think she'll watch them. I think she'll like hang back out of sight so they can't see her and just like see how kids interact with each other, because she's just a weirdo. Like she's a wolf, but she's a crow. You know what I mean? She's just like weird and alone. So like watching kids have fun together is like weird for her. She's like, what are they doing? That's it.
Okay.
I don't know.
So Merrick, you're gonna go find Wick. It
Yes,
sounds like.
I would go find Wick.
Yes.
What is Wick doing at this time, John?
Wick has found a little alcove where there might be like a stalactite and like a small pool of water. I don't know how long we've been here, Nick. How long have we been in the mine?
I mean,
Everyone's unwindy.
anywhere from like a little bit to several hours to half a day.
Okay. I need 1 hour so that I can quietly Qui-Gon Jinn meditate for a moment, and then stare into this pool of water. But Merrick comes to interrupt me, it seems, before that or during that period.
Wick. I've been talking with Rick, and we might have a plan. It's a bit of a crazy plan, and maybe a little bit of a half-suicidal plan on our part.
Sounds like my kind of deal.
I figured it would be. It would also prevent the Grave Wardens from suicidally charging the walls, because I think that's what they planned on doing beforehand.
Undead aren't good at holding walls. They're not good statically. They can't just sit and chill. It's kind of weird now that if you like think about it, because like the undead are slow, but they're only really a threat if they like are mobile. So if you get them to stay still, they're kind of like roadblocks more so than like actual threats. War. You know what I'm saying?
I know it. My thought is that we issue a challenge. Move to one of the gates. Issue a challenge to Brother Bishop. Single combat between the two of you. Worthy foe for you.
Is this a spout lore? Do I know anything about like how he would respond to that kind of thing? Is he a prideful man or?
Yeah, give me a spell lore. And give me a minute to look at my notes.
Quick, someone hinder me. I need XP. Something interesting about Brother Bishop. Only one thing. It's on me to make it useful.
Sorry, I have a lot of notes on the Rust Brothers and Church of Rust here.
Control F, Bishop. Details.
Yeah. So Iron Brother Bishop has, from what you and the other Grave Wardens and the Moss family in general have heard, is that he has a reputation for just being really honorable as far as Rust Brothers go. Like, if you all, like... Like,
this is a guy who stabbed me with multiple people and left me for dead?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that, which does seem a little bit strange. But in the time that he has kind of overseen Whaler's Hold, like, so he is the leader there, and he is the one who issues orders to all of the Rust Brothers in this area. And as the Rust Brothers have come to the Hollows throughout the Blood Mist, like, he has been open to conversation and dialogue anytime there has been like demands of tribute. Like, his instructions are like, be reasonable. Like, if they are like, yo, give us 100 coin, and y'all are like, we've only got like 95, he's like, okay, you know, that's fine, just take the 95 and let them off with a warning. So, like, he is not hard and cruel like past people who have, like, ruled over this area have been.
But he's willing to do what he has to win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know him as, like, especially given the strategy he used to take the Hollows last night, and what he's done to you personally to get the Moss family sword, he is very cunning and strategic. But when met on plain terms, he is open at least to dialogue, is what I'll say.
I will think on this for a moment. Merrick, he stabbed me in the chest and left me for dead. And, you know, I'm not saying I couldn't convince him to fight me one-on-one. But I think that it would take, like, a lot of... Well, I basically have to become a heretic for him. And, like, do the whole... Who's the real Rusty boy? I mean, I could do it, yeah. I'm not against it. He'll be buffed up.
I mean,
I'll
my
need you
true
to
goal,
magic me up as well, but...
but my true goal is not to cause the confrontation or to not have a fight with one victor. My goal is a distraction. Rick would
Okay,
take the Grave
so...
Wardens and move right up to the walls and try to take the city back.
You
Need to
didn't
find a
get
way
to see it. I'm gonna interrupt you, I'm sorry. You didn't get to
Go
see
ahead.
it. But the magical sword that he had, I never knew its properties when I stole it. If someone dies or even probably gets injured, the sword will sort of steal some of that life force and give it back to him. So, in a battle, he is unkillable. Unless we literally kill everything and just, like, freeze him in place until everything else is dead. Or we break the sword, or we chop off his hand, or we steal the sword. I'm not against assassination. You want to kill him when he's asleep?
Interesting thought.
I'm not the most honorable guy once someone starts a fight, is what I'm really trying to convey.
I'm
I
open to
really
any
don't want to
idea.
talk to the bird.
She is the one most suited for this type of thing.
She's not going to be able to pull it off, man. It's going to need at least both of us, at the very least. Maybe even Basil or his goat to climb a wall so that we could wrap a rope around its neck. It'd be a team effort, is what I'm saying. Oh, we are frozen. What the hell? Nick, quick cameras.
Oh, how's that?
I'm not sure. We're still on the delay. We'll find out here in a moment.
Anyway,
Shannon, you
Yeah,
were
I'm-
muted.
Ah, I said I can see my eyes moving. We're good.
Okay, yeah, we're moving.
good.
Sorry about that,
Sorry.
stream.
I'm okay with trying this. My main concern is not allowing the Grave Wardens to just rush to the wall. I feel like they're walking into a suicide mission. And if
Absolutely.
it means we...
Depends on how they play it, but it's the demons if it's just the undead, if it was even the good undead, we'd still probably win, even with lacking numbers. You always are outnumbered when fighting the undead. Anything that disrupts formations, like a fireball or something like that, would also be really bad. But to my knowledge, clerics don't have much offensive spells. I don't think you do. Do you?
Offensive? No. Support. Anti-support.
So there's kind of three pathways we're looking at then. We either challenge him to an open duel, he accepts, we both go buffed, and then I kick his ass because I'm not going to lose a 1v1. And he knows that. 2, we assassinate him. I mean, we'd have to, like, sneak in, find where he is, not get detected, which would be difficult, to say the least. And he is probably a paranoid schizophrenic, so he might just never take his armor off in the middle of Danger Town, which is where he currently is. Or 3, we do an open battle and try to, you know, not assault the walls, but I don't know. It depends on what we want, really.
I feel like we need more information. But
I
Rick-
agree, and I
Rick
cast a
doesn't wanna
spell.
wait. Okay, I will back away.
What would you like to cast, John?
I would like to cast, after 1 hour, a Visions Through Time.
Yes. Cast this spell
My
and gaze into a reflective surface to see into the depth of time. The GM will reveal the details of a grim portent to you, a bleak event that will come to pass without your intervention. They'll tell you something useful about how you can interfere with the grim portent's dark outcomes. Rare is the portent that claims you'll live happily ever after. Sorry. Okay.
I open my bleeding eyes into the pool of water, watch the blood drops drip, and then spin. That's a pass.
That is a partial success. The spell is cast, but choose one.
I choose the last one.
You forget the spell and cannot cast it again until you've prepared spells. Okay. So remind me, where is this and what pool of water?
Like cave water and like a, you know how like condensation pools on a stalactite? Yeah, stalactite onto the
Yeah,
ceiling.
one of those. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Let me look at my grim portents here.
Give me some grimness and perils. What's gonna happen in the future, guys?
Okay. You look, let's see here. All right. So you look into the pool of water, and you see your own reflection. And as you look past the reflection, past the water, you see the texture of the stone, the earth underneath all the water. It is bumpy and smooth from the water dripping over the centuries. And you feel your, like, the camera, your consciousness, your vision passing into it, and then it kind of like tilts, and you see the texture of this land out here, the space between the hills and the hollows. There's just kind of a smooth transition to that texture to the hills, and you are gliding over them in the night sky. The sun, in a like a fast forward, the sun rises and you can see everything along the land, and you just see countless undead and demons covering the landscape. And as you pan over the hollows, you see that the gates and buildings, many of the kind of greenish colors have been replaced with a burnt orange and rusty color. There is a clear occupation of the hollows. But your vision continues to pass over the hollows to the south, towards Widow's Peak, to the south, where that abandoned tower has sat for centuries. And in your vision, you see only that tower. You do not see the second tower that has been sitting there for the last week or two. And your vision passes over Widow's Peak and beyond, and you see a great chasm in the earth. And there in the chasm is a glowing purple glow coming out of it. And there stand Rust Brothers and Iron Guard, chanting magic over this gash in this chasm in the ground. There are demons spilling out of the chasm, flying out, crawling out, leaping out. And the Rust Brothers, as they are waving and chanting their magic, you see like chains like red hot chains. No, not red. Orange hot chains flying out of their hands and lashing around all of the demons and putting them under their control. And your vision begins to move towards the glowing purple in the chasm. It grows bright and brighter and brighter as you pass into the light. And then suddenly everything snaps into darkness. And then you see a rippling as water drips into the pool that you gaze into, and you come back to your consciousness.
I wipe my bleeding eyes. Look at Merrick. Shit just got real. Okay, we need to go on break.
All right. We will be right back with Fable Table. Welcome back to Fable Table. So, what's the plan? What are we up to now?
I think Merrick heals. We take a night off to regain stuff and see if we get XP.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to cast my spells to heal Nick, or do you want me to just... I have 2 healing spells, Cure Moderate, Cure Light Prepared. Can I just heal all of us up, or do you want me to do some rolling?
Let me look at the moves really quickly to see what like spending a night gets you all.
Okay.
Oh, you need a full day of rest to benefit from recover. So yeah, if you are planning on using spells, go ahead and cast those.
Okay.
Farming XP.
First one's an 11. That's a Cure Moderate for myself.
Nice.
Which is going to be 2d8 plus my level, as I am a devoted healer.
Yes.
2d8 plus 4. I will heal myself up for 10.
That's pretty good. Almost topped off.
Almost max. Does anybody else need healing?
Yeah.
What you need?
A minor.
A minor. Okay. Let's try again. Here's my Cure Light. Also a success.
Y'all are crushing it today.
You're going to heal for 9, John.
I only needed 2.
Shannon and Basil. Or sorry, Cacophony and Basil. Either of you guys injured?
Yeah, I took 5 damage.
Right. I'm going to do another Cure Light on you. Looks like I can roll nothing but 11s. This is wonderful.
Nice.
God damn.
Wow.
Those are all
Killing
good
it.
numbers.
And you heal for 11. Basil, how you doing?
I only have 2 damage right now, so I
Heal
you
him up.
can save it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh my
Eleven.
god.
He broke the system.
1,
He's
2,
hacking.
3,
He's hacking.
4
Heal for
11s.
6. And this is the last one on me. I think I'm going to finally lose my Cure Light wounds on this one.
Okay.
It's going to be revoked, but I'm also going to heal myself
We're all to full.
for 10, and we're all full.
Wow, that's incredible.
All right.
I also prepare more spells since we have
Yeah,
time.
and at this point, I would like to commune and change spells. But you tell me if my deity will allow me to do that. He should be impressed with me, as I've just killed the living hell out of
The
everybody.
God
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah.
Merrick.
I think you're good.
Okay.
So
I don't want a scene unless you would like me to have a scene. I would just like to change my prepared spells and ponder our thoughts on what to do next.
yeah, if Worm needs to talk to you, he will talk to you when you commune or when he has an opportunity. Otherwise, I will just tell me if you want to talk to Worm.
I'm good.
Yeah, so you are tending all of the wounded and doing a phenomenal job. I'm going to take all these, especially these 11s, and extend that to like healing of grave wardens who are injured. And as you all are like late that night, Cacophony, you and I think you said you wanted to take Merrick with you, right, to go practice knife work with
Yeah.
Lynn.
And her magic stuff, you know, like if that happens, because I feel like Merrick, she I trust Merrick, and she trusts me, and Merrick, and like it's better to just have two people there.
Yeah. So you all head deeper into the gold mine. There really isn't anyone standing watch going deeper into the mine. Um, like they're not expecting anyone to come from that direction. So I think there's like people like hanging out, keeping an eye on it on those some of those tunnels, but no one's like standing guard at attention, ready to do anything about it. So you just walk down, and you come into this open chamber where there's just like a ton of mining equipment, tools, carts, etc. There's a bunch of lanterns and fuel for lanterns, so you all are able to like kind of create some light for yourselves. And Lynn, it looks like, had already set up the previous night this kind of like dartboard. Like she just pulled up some planks of wood, or maybe she like moved a cart, and she's just been throwing knives at the side of it. There's a bunch of gashes and splinters in the wood already.
I am so proud of her.
Yeah. There's definitely some scratches in the stone all around and beyond that target cart. But it looks like she's doing all right. And so she just is getting some tips and tricks from you on that. And the plan is to work on the magic stuff after the knife work. But before that happens, you all hear voices coming from deeper into the mine.
What did
you
they
hear that?
say?
I'm gonna put my hand over Lynn's mouth, and I'm gonna say, like, we're gonna do some sneaking. Are you cool? Okay. And then I think Merrick and I will like keep Lynn between the two of us as we kind of like creep closer to like where the voices are coming. And then can I do like it wouldn't be discern realities, would it? Like, or maybe it would.
Yeah.
I want to try and do a discern realities to
Okay.
see if I can hear who's speaking.
Sounds good.
Oh shit.
What
Very nice.
are these
We're
dice?
rolling so good tonight.
Oh my
I'm
god, you
scared,
rolled two
guys.
sixes. You have +0 wisdom. Well done. So I don't know if we really need to spend time having you ask these questions and me giving you answers. Like, it becomes
Sure.
very clear to you that these are like the patrols that have been missing, and with them are some deep guttural dwarven voices. And Hogue and Dola are the only dwarves that you know of from the Hollows. So there is,
And it doesn't sound like either one of them.
no, but they are conversing politely. It sounds calm. And coming around the corner are a couple of folks from the Hollows, probably a Selkie and a halfling and a fawn who were out on patrol. And if you had failed, there would have been an awkward they come around the corner and jump scare, but we've avoided that. So they come around and are Cacophony and Merrick, hello. I didn't know that you had arrived. We've been on patrol and we came across these dwarves, and in tow with them are some rather disheveled looking but very prideful dwarves, a man and a woman, and they look like they've seen better days. They look a little emaciated, a little hungry, but they are very composed, and they appear to have actually some quite nice clothing, but that is very, very dirty and worn down. And the fawn who is leading the group turns and says, "Should I introduce you? Would you like to introduce?" And he just like the dwarven man pushes the fawn out of the way and says, "Hello there. I am Torvald Storm Eye." A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am sure you've heard of me, but here I am in the flesh.
Nice.
Of course,
Gormai.
everyone has heard that name before. You are infamous. However, what are you doing here in these mines, might I ask?
Why, my people and I, we were on a journey. We were heading to retake Whaler's Hold, my ancestral home, the Storm Eye's ancestral home, taken from us during the Alder Wars. My people, we will take it back. It is quite fortunate that we came across you all. We were not expecting others, albeit non-dwarves, tunneling away and in underground. Don't you topsiders like to exist where there's fresh air and sun? What are you doing down here?
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say we're under attack and we're hiding from some particularly nasty human beings. The very human beings who have taken over your ancestral home.
Ah, you are enemies
Full
of the Rust Brothers as well, are ya?
We.
I am glad to hear it. Well, then, we shall have a feast this evening, and we will make plans to take Whaler's Hold together, since we are allies, of course.
Well, there's more than one of me. I speak for the collective. You should come meet the others.
John, you look like you have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let him speak for us, man.
You are
Don't worry about it.
so loud
Have a
you are
roll.
clipping out.
Yeah.
I cannot understand what you said.
Nope.
Good.
He's like, don't let cacophony speak for us.
There we go.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I understood this. Okay? You didn't have to say anything. I fucking got it, John.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I think she is uncomfortable in a position of authority, so she's just like, why don't you come and talk to these other people? I'm one of many. So
Merrick
So-
will speak up at that point.
Selkie,
Say,
you are not the one in charge? And he like looks at you, Merrick. He like gives you an up and down. You are of course taller than him, but I think you've described Merrick as like a little portly. Is that
Yeah.
right? Is that what you've used to describe him? Yeah, he is also quite portly, but you know, buff as well. So I think there is kind of like a shared body type between the two of you. And he like gives you a look up and down, and he's like, "Ah, you look like a great warrior. Are you the one in charge?"
For now, it seems.
Very
Provo,
good.
How many mighty dwarven warriors do you have at your command?
Well, and he kind of like looks a little like he like looks down at the ground, but his smile and pride don't feign. But the woman behind him, the bearded female dwarf, she gives kind of like a disappointed look, and he says, "My people, we've seen better days, but we have dozens of strong warriors. We are is a score a dozen?
A
Score is
score is
20.
20.
We are 3 score strong.
Hey, nice.
Um,
3 score dwarves is worth twice as many humans and 3 times as many Rust Brothers. Come.
very good. Indeed. Well said. And what were your names, my friends?
I am Merrick.
Merrick.
Worm.
Of Worm, you say. Excellent. And you, my lovely Selkie friend. And your beautiful kitty cat.
and my beautiful Kiki. Okay. I don't know if I want to tell this guy my name. Are we sure we trust him? Are we sure that he's
Yes.
okay? Cacophony.
Actually,
Fine.
Nick, I would like to know, what has Merrick heard about the great Torvold Stormeye.
Torvold. I'll spell it in our chat. Torvold.
OLD. Torvold.
Torvold
That's cool.
Stormeye. Yeah, give me a spout lore.
Can I do that with Gorthank's Diary? Rolling it a
Absolutely.
+1 for...
Absolutely, yeah.
So while you're doing that, I have to imagine that all this talk of score and 3 score worth twice as much or 3 as much, Lynn is just standing in the background, like doing math on her hands, like how many are they worth? Like,
You're
So
jack shit. Chief.
so
fuck?
he
Yeah.
rolled a 1 and a 2 and has +1.
I had the +1 in that roll.
Oh,
So that is a failure. Mark XP. I love
it.
the notion that you're like, of course
Yes.
I've heard of you, and you're like, who the fuck is Torvald
He
Stormeye?
knew who this guy is, but you know what?
Really
He
glad
has
you did that.
60 dwarves at his back, and you know what? I don't care who he is at this point. He's coming to meet Rick and Wick. Let's go.
All right.
Nice.
and Basil,
And
my
Basil.
new elbow brother.
Yo.
So Lynn is like, so are we done? Are we not gonna prep?
You and I can hang out. They don't usually let me in those meetings anyway, so let's go throw some knives at some things.
You're sure you don't need to be there or listen in?
Why don't we? How about this? I would like to teach you how to be a thief, just like me. And a big part of that is learning how to sneak and to be unseen and to be very dexterous. Is this something that you would be interested in, Lynn?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then we're gonna go and listen in on that meeting that we're not gonna be a part of.
Okay. Let's do it. Part of it is we're supposed to be quiet, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, but like we're quiet when we get there. Nobody's here right now.
Oh,
We're good.
Okay.
It's just us.
Okay. All right. It's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Give me either like a defy danger dex for just like generally showing her good sneaking, or maybe like a intelligence check to teach her. I'll
Teach
take
her.
either. Like
Take the end.
whatever you want.
oh no.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So something might come up
Super
during the
good.
meeting where I impose some awareness or bargain or choice. Okay. So, you, Merrick, and the rest of the patrol that arrive with Torvald and his companion arrive, and it sounds like you're taking him to see Rick.
I would take him to Rick Moss, and I would try to find Wick along the way.
Okay.
So he'll want to be present for this, I'm sure. Or if he doesn't, he'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yes. So, Torvald meets up with Rick. Wick, you are welcome to be there as well. He introduces himself as Torvald Stormeye, leader of the... oh my god, I've already forgot his clan's name.
Oh, as coming into the room, I would totally give him an introduction because he's deserving of an introduction. I think, maybe, sure, kind of, I guess. But
Yeah?
Rick, my dear Moss, may I present Torvald Stormeye, mighty dwarf with 60 dwarves at his command.
60, you say? Excellent. Well, welcome. And...
He comes seeking an audience and a mutual hatred of the Rust Brothers.
Rick's eyes go wide, and he smiles.
Oh, thank God.
Um,
I swear. Oh,
He, I think Rick normally is very pretentious and doesn't give the time of day to people who look like they're, like, not prim and proper. But I think given the fact that he and his warriors are very disheveled, he is, like, very much overlooking the fact that this leader of the dwarves is also very, like, worn down looking. So they begin to converse and talk. And as they are talking, let me find.
Please tell me they have blacksmiths on hand, Nick.
Of course. So Tormund is of the ancestral Marrowmanian clan of the dwarves. And that you would know, like, I know you failed your spell lore roll, but the Marrowmanians ruled over and built Whaler's Hold centuries and centuries ago, and they are the ones who were kicked out when the Rust brothers took Whaler's Hold during the Alder Wars. They became kind of a nomadic dwarven tribe, and basically you haven't heard anything about what has happened to them since the Blood Mist arrived, and since it disappeared. Like, there has been no, like, that is the last known anything about the Marrowmanians. So they are kind of like the stuff of legend. And Torvald makes like a big deal of like they are the proudest warriors, they are the strongest, they've been training, they are ready for this, they are going to take Whaler's Hold. And he basically begins to engage with Rick, and they begin to kind of not argue so much as have like a very intense conversation, especially like given what has just happened. Torvald is like, well, we need to hit the Rust brothers where it hurts. We should like, if we are going to be allies, we should focus on Whaler's Hold, especially if like they're dedicating so many resources to controlling the Hollows right now, and occupy it. We should hit them where it hurts. We have the element of surprise because he has Stone Singers with him, and they could like, you all could basically do to Whaler's Hold what they just did to the Hollows, and that is infiltrate it from underground, using stone singing. But Rick is understandably, like, his pain is raw. He wants to go save the Hollows, and he's like, they haven't completely seized control of it yet, or they like, it's going to take them a while to actually gain control of the city and the people within and get set up. So they will be vulnerable there. And they could completely eliminate those potential reinforcements that could go back to Whaler's Hold, or arrive at Whaler's Hold during a siege if y'all were to attack Whaler's Hold first. So Merrick, Wick, Basil, I mean, Andy, you didn't say that you were there, but you can be there if you want. You are there as they're having this discussion and kind of weighing the pros and cons of where do we attack first. Do you all have any input or want to share any thoughts?
Of course. But I always do, so maybe I should sit back for a moment.
I respect that. Anyone else?
Basil has a very selfish desire in learning more about his own past to go back to the mountains, and so selfishly would like to go for Whaler's Hold first. So I think he'll like coyly, kind of be like, well, we might have better resources for retaking the Hollows if we take Whaler's Hold first. Be easier to do with a whole host of Stone Singers on our side. And we could, before we leave, talk to what's the name of the guy with the shack with the gin?
Cedric.
Cedric?
Boy.
Cedric. We could,
Cedric.
before we leave, just try and get a stealthy word to Cedric about starting to sow discord within the occupied village, so that by the time we got back from the Whaler's Hold, their regime would be unsteady and ready for breaking and undermining both literal and figurative.
Okay, just to recap, you're saying go attack Whaler's Hold first, but while sowing discord.
So Whaler's Hold first, but before we go, quick stealthy mission to let Cedric know that we're going to be coming back with in dwarven strength,
Mm-hmm.
and for him to start sowing, be our person on the inside and start sowing resistance against the Rust Brother occupation.
Mm.
Wick's eyes go to Merrick.
I have a hard time abandoning all of our people here. Whaler's Hold might be a strategically good idea. I'm not so sure our forces will be able to stomach the thought of walking away from our town, to dive further into the mountains, and go fight a battle so far away from their own families.
With all due respect, my good friend Merrick, my people have been walking under these lands for centuries with no home. I understand that your loss is fresh, but hold the prize that you seek in your hand and know that it is coming if you make the strategic decisions to break our shared enemy first.
So, you've been under the mountains for a while, so we do know what's going on. You don't have to trust my words for it, but their leader is named Iron Brother Bishop. You probably don't know him. He runs Whaler's Hold, and he quite literally is right outside this mine shaft. If we kill him, yeah, well, not right outside. He's 8 miles south.
He grabs his axe. He's like, oh, okay.
I'm sorry. A little bit of a figurative speech there. We have a plan-ish to kill him on our own that we were going to implement without you. If you give us, like, a day, can we Honestly, I want to go to Whaler's Hold. I'm not gonna lie. But we need a chance to get some of the people out before they get sacrificed to their god and summon more demons. Which is what I have foreseen.
His eyes narrow.
My eyes bleed.
Full emo.
I mean, I'm seeing red, literally.
He for the first time he's looking at you, and he's like looking you up and down, and he goes, "Your skin is quite pale for a human. He says, was your mother a dwarf?"
An elf. Fuck it. I'm just gonna lie to him.
Rick looks very uncomfortable, but says nothing.
Good. He shouldn't say anything. I'm fucking joshing this guy.
You think you can kill the leader of Whaler's Hold in a day? Impressive.
Potentially. Now that you guys are here, can you strap as many shovel heads to me as physically possible? His sword bites through armor and turns metal into rust. So, I'm planning to absorb some hits with as much steel as possible. Not gonna lie, if you guys just made like a 30-foot trench in front of my boys, like, we'd deal with all the undead. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's all we need. Just like a ditch around us. Get a funnel going. I'm kind of the head strategist here. I know I don't look it, but
Rick shoots you a dirty look.
Shut the fuck up, Rick. Who's in control? I wanted to.
So, Torvald says, there is one other matter I think is worth bringing up. My grand strategy, as I too am a bit of a strategist. I know that Whaler's Hold, and I'm sure the Hollows, are greatly fortified, and while we do have a great advantage with stone singing and our dwarven armor and weapons, There are many humans, many Rest Brothers, and they are vicious with their demons, their infused bodies, the pacts they've made to change their flesh. They are formidable, as you have clearly seen for yourself and experienced. I, as a great leader of one of the proud clans of dwarves in the Ravenlands, know that allies are going to be vital to dealing with the Church of Rust and their Rust Prince. I was not planning on sacking Whaler's Hold right away, but waiting a little bit for allies. My people have waited long enough, but they need to wait a little longer. I was planning on sending word to the orcs, the elves, the halflings and goblins, and other human factions, the fawn, the wolfkin, asking for help, asking for assistance in besieging Whaler's Hold. I think that waiting for a stronger force and this opportunity to unite the factions of the Ravenlands against our common enemy is the greatest opportunity of all, even more than reclaiming Whaler's Hold for my people on their own, or reclaiming the Hollows for yours. I think this is an opportunity for all of our people to rid ourselves of those who occupy our entire land and control it. Would you all be willing to wait and help me send word to the other kin of the Ravenlands? I understand your wounds are fresh, and you are eager for revenge and to reclaim what you've lost.
It's not so much... Buddy, I've been... We have an opportunity here. The longer we wait on it, the bigger it will slip by. I'm not against joining you. Actually, no. I still want to go to Whalers. I really, really do. You do not understand how badly I wish to go there. For completely different reasons than you. But their leader, their executive officer, their you is 8 miles away. That's a quarter of a day. They could be here tomorrow. They know what direction we went. They might not find us immediately, but we have a threat right on our doorstep. We have a chance, while their numbers are diminished after our battle, and our numbers are magically healed, and I'm not asking you to join us in a fight, but just provide environmental support if you're that great of a stone singer, or if you have more than 3 of them. Give us a shot to prove ourselves, maybe? See if we're even worthy allies? Like, I'll go deliver these messages myself, but until we know that threat's gone, I can't just up and leave these clowns, and I point to Rick.
If you want to unify other people, no weapon is greater for that unification than hope. And a victory here will bring that hope. Bring that chance. If we run from the Rust Brothers and ask for help, it would be right to refuse us and kick us off their doorstep. If we go to them with a victory in hand and say unify behind us, we have that much more power.
Is the orc still here? Is
Carnal
House still
You all
around?
said you fucking hate Carnal, so I've been keeping him off screen. Do you want him here? No, he is. Sorry, he is not here. Specifically,
Okay,
he is
he
not
left?
here. He left.
Okay. Because it would literally be like, hey, are your orc people down for this? Without, like, if we just showed up and we're like, alliance! And, what would the reaction be? Would I? Well, no, I wouldn't know anything about how they'd react. I'm not even going to question.
I would think it
So
works for refuse an alliance because it would mean choosing sides as opposed to maintaining their bastion of knowledge and neutrality. But I don't know.
okay. So here's what I need at this point. I need Merrick, if you would like,
Yep.
to use aid or interfere,
Okay.
because you gave a good argument and assisted Wick on this parlay.
Okay.
Please pass.
That is
Okay.
a pass.
Yep.
Wick, you have +1 on a parlay.
Let me do +1 forward. Oh, parlay. Oh, I call it demand.
Yeah.
That's a natural 11, Chief.
Nice.
It makes sense.
It does.
Like, we're
That's a
taking
good
on
change.
most, if not all, the risk.
I was, as you were speaking, prepared to recant a parable of my people about the lichen frog who sits patiently in the dark in tunnels waiting for cave flies to land near it, but because it seemed like at first you were advising me and asking me to act with haste, and I was going to advise patience, but you make a good point that if we are to inspire others to stand against the Church of Rust, that showing them that their investment is worth it, that it is possible, that there is hope first, is what it may take to convince them. So you would have me aid you in retaking the Hollows, with the chance that
At least partially.
the Rust brothers could prepare Whaler's Hold for a future assault. That any who survived retaking the Hollows would be added to those on the bastions of the walls of Whaler's Hold.
I don't know if they'd make that assumption. We're fighting for our home. If we retake it, we kind of reset the little game we're playing with the Iron Brothers. If we keep you hidden, and they know we have one Stone Singer, it wouldn't be unreasonable that we would have made a little ring around us to just a little choke point or something.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
There's no guarantee they would immediately jump to the conclusion that we're about to bring out the trebuchet and catapult ourselves inside the dwarf pit.
He turns to his female companion, who at this point has said nothing to any of you. And he says, Elma, we will need to ask for volunteers to aid them in retaking their city. Take them with you and see that it's done. And he says, yes, my king. She says, yes, my king, and puts her hand to her chest at the bottom of her beard. And she then looks to you, Merrick and Wick and Basil, and says, come with me.
Please strap shovels to me. Play mail.
And so she will lead you deep into the gold mine. At one point, they will pass... Oh, Cacophony. They're about to head into the tunnels.
Okay.
So they're leaving, and you and Lynn are, like, creeping on this meeting. What are you doing? As they're preparing to make you and make Lynn.
I think I'm gonna very hastily switch into a game of patty cake and just pretend like that's what we were doing as we were walking by. We're just gonna keep on moving. So
Middle of the night, 3 a.m. patty cake.
when you can't sleep, I don't judge you for doing whatever your nighttime sleeping ritual is. You don't know me.
That's
Wick.
true, I don't.
Okay.
You all walk
Just
past.
tie you. Like, what the fuck?
You all walk past Cacophony and Lynn, who are doing patty cake in the middle of the night.
Yep. Totally.
She's touched. Ignore her, please.
Torvald is like, what an interesting game. I'll have to learn it sometime. And just beelines past you. Or no, I'm sorry. Torvald is probably staying with Rick.
Alma.
Elma probably just is like, gives you a very confused look. And is just like, okay, let's go. Come on.
We bond over that shared look.
She like looks.
Does she not look and be like, that child should be in bed? Like,
She like.
just,
She's
you
like,
know.
what is this, Wick?
Don't worry. Just keep moving.
She's
Okay.
having a hard time adjusting to daylight and nighttime hours, being that there is no sun and we're
She
underground.
speaks in the
So,
third person. Just
patty
keep
cake.
going. Just keep going. Just ignore her.
All right.
She won't leave you.
So Elma will lead you deep into the gold mine, right to where Cacophony and Lynn and Merrick were originally practicing the knife throwing, and just like heads down one of the passages. And after a while of hiking down these tunnels, you arrive in like basically a dwarven kind of campground. It's a bit more permanent. Like they've been here. It's a little more lived in their little cave section. They've also been able to manipulate the area to their needs with stone singing a bit, and there is evidence of markings on the walls that would suggest they've been doing that. But these people, like, they look even more worse for wear than Torvald and Elma. Like, these people look tired and worn. Like, they've got armor and weapons sitting there, like, ready to be used, but these people look just so worn out. They do not look like they are in fighting shape either.
Well, we don't need them to be. They're not going to be participating in the battle. Hopefully it's just a 1v1, right?
I thought you said you needed stone singers.
Oh, I didn't realize. Does it take? I don't know how to sing rock to move where I want it. Is it like an exhausting thing?
It takes years and years of practice, but we are some of the greatest stone singers in the land. And Elma begins to whistle, and the rock in the ceiling begins to tremble and shake. It's like music, like the shuffling, the rattling of the rock is like there's like a beat to it. And a few of the dwarves down this passageway begin like stand up from what they're doing, and they all walk over to Elma, and her whistling stops. And she says, "These are our stone singers. Do you require any of their services?"
How many are there?
There are 6.
I asked them how long would it take to make a 30-foot ditch downward, and then like 100-foot radius.
100 feet deep. No, 30
feet deep.
in a
100 feet
100
out.
feet wide.
So not like a crater, but like a ring around solid ground.
not long. One of them
Right.
chimes in.
Like an hour? Like
Less.
30 minutes? Okay. I want to explain to them the plan. And I guess I'll use our beautiful map here.
Sure.
So I'm gonna do it around Merrick. So Merrick, in this case, Merrick, center yourself, will be, wow, that brown circle does not come out well. Merrick is the what's it called, Grave Warden / our party, who are protected by this ring that has a little funnel that goes like so. I, blessed as all hell can be, magicked up, go out and challenge under... Does Rust have like a fucking trial by combat thing? Like a religious arms test?
Oh,
A
I'm sure
grueling
they do. Their
practice?
entire faith is all about like
Being the
putting
best.
yourself through hardship to like anneal yourself.
Why don't I
so-
check the book of annealment that I have
Yeah,
on my character sheet?
yeah.
Well, I would know, right? Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah. You know,
as
you have some
ex-zealot
experience with their
myself.
culture.
Yeah, I was gonna join them at one point. So I'm gonna go challenge their leader or his champions until I get to him. And you guys just make that ring, and should be enough. Skeletons, zombies shouldn't be able to jump more than 20 feet.
And you wouldn't ask us to fight.
No.
You get two volunteers.
Okay, and if we force Hoang, would that be enough for like a quick ring?
The two of them say they could do it in like 20-30 minutes. It won't be a big deal.
Okay. Well, that's how long it normally takes that motherfucker to put his armor on. So, should be good enough.
Very good.
Cut their numbers. Kill their leader. They charge us. We got fireball. It's fine.
You planning anything with the other Grave Wardens?
Well, they would be there, assumedly. We need their numbers. They need to take the circle formation or ring formation or...
It's our fallback if the Vol demons start tunneling under our defenses.
They'd have a ditch to get through first. We'd have warning. You know, if they go like 5 feet down, then they fall 25 feet. They go all the way down. They have to come out slowly and then go up awkwardly. It's not perfect, but we're not going to have perfect. What would be great is if we figured out where an aquifer was and then flood it, and then they can't, you know, dig the water out. They just get flushed, but we don't have that kind of time. Basil. The Moss family are not archers. We fight in melee combat. You are our only ranged capable person. If someone starts casting spells, it'll be mostly up to you to kill them or bring them down.
I can do that. Your sniper support. Might go have one of the stone singers set up a little ledge for me that I can, you know, a nice bird's nest.
5-foot tower or whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
You don't need much. That will be the plan. And then the two stone singers should retreat after their work is done. All goes well. We kill Iron Brother Bishop. The undead lose cohesion. Or at least the Iron Brothers do. Then we'll have the sword back and I'll be literally unkillable.
Bear in mind and remember that when a Rust brother who has summoned the undead falls, the undead fall with them.
Wow. I
Picking
don't
them
think
up
he's
will
a
be the
sorcerer.
priority. Well, if our plan to create a challenge is not going to work and we're assaulted by Rust brothers, we target the brothers and the undead fall with them.
Spellcasters specifically, the armored guys, do not. They should not act as conduits for magic. Unless they're clerics in armor, hiding. That's the play that I got. It's risky, I'll be honest. But it won't be risk to our new friends.
Not much in the way of backup plan.
We have Hoang create a bridge, and then we just retreat back to the hills.
So before we head down there, we need some dwarves to help make like a ditch we can collapse, a bridge we can collapse behind us as we retreat.
Yeah, we're gonna take Hoang. Yeah, that's our dwarf guy, right? His name's Ho.
Oh,
Yep.
Hoag. Hoang, Hoag. I'm sorry. I'm adding extra syllables.
that's okay. You pretty much have mispronounced all of my characters' names, so I just assumed that it's Wick, either intentionally or unintentionally doing it.
Yeah, Wick is in character rude and not.
Yeah, no, that's
Taking the
fair.
time to
He doesn't
pronounce any
remember
name.
people. He's got brain damage. Give him some slack here.
Oh boy.
He's got
We're
a-
letting this guy call the shots.
You know, he's one of those like savants, right? All he knows is to fight.
That's true.
Any one who disagrees? Who wants to talk us out of this? Because once we commit, we're kind of committed.
Well, Cacophony, don't you have that crossbow? Or Wick, are you holding that? That can provide us with a little bit more
I
range
do not.
support.
I think it's on my sheet, but I don't. Do I? Am I? I think I have it.
I think you have it. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Then yeah, it's on my sheet. I'm holding it.
yeah. The one difference between a crossbow and the bow that Basil has is a crossbow is only near range, whereas a bow is far. So you'd have to be like a little bit more obvious, a little bit closer to use it.
So, the dwarves are master smiths. The only thing that I would ask them is quite literally glue more shovels to me so that I can get plate mail. I will give them all of my money and art objects to do this. If that's possible at all. I don't know if it is.
Let's see
I'd
here.
obviously want to go in full horse, and yes, the whole horse.
Checking our goods.
Give me. So there is a move called supply.
Where is that in the special moves?
Yeah, it's a special move here. So go ahead and roll plus charisma, John. I've just linked the move.
Okay. I am just gonna click charisma for 10.
And then let me find.
Success.
Oh, very nice. Let me find out how
so
much
good.
plate mail costs.
350.
350.
350 coins.
How much coin do you have, Wick?
I have 100 coin and then 50 art object gold value. So 150.
So you need 200 more. That's quite a bit.
Guys, do we
Merrick
have
will
money?
dump a pile of 50 coins on the table.
It's 200. Anyone else want
Guys.
to donate to the shovel fund?
Please, I beg of you. I will give you all of my money after this for all and ever.
Oh, fine. How much more does he need?
150.
150.
Yeah.
You're gonna owe me so big. You're gonna wish you were dead.
Do you have
And then I'm
150?
gonna give him the 150 gold.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa. Money bags.
I will make you so much gold jewelry. You have no idea. You're gonna be blinged out, girl.
What does Wick asking Cacophony for money look like or sound like?
I am.
She's like still
Hang on.
playing patty cake for some reason.
Just with herself. Lynn went to bed hours ago. We're like talking shop. Lynn's asleep.
It's really
Cacophony's
comforting,
clawing
okay?
her
Just
face.
very comforting. Don't judge my process. Yeah.
You know, Wick has no pride at all, nor shame. So I think he's literally gonna grovel. Like, he is going to go full stop, produce sword, slap it on the ground, do a dogaza, or what, the knee thing, and literally just bow his head into the dirt, and then raise his hands like, Cacophony, I beg of you.
So there could be more groveling. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I would love that.
I
But
will lick
I
your
know that
fucking feet. Just tell me
time
what
is
you
of the
want.
essence. Ew! Nobody asked for that. Ew! I'm gonna slap him and then
I take it.
Jesus.
Claw me if you wish.
Ah. Oh boy, this guy has real
Stab me in the chest. I care not.
Oh my god.
I rip off
Okay.
my shirt and my scattered shovels. I bare my diminished chest. Stab me! Claw me! Do what you must!
Take the money. Oh,
Thank you.
I'll figure something else horrible out for you later. Just no.
Collecting the money. I don't eye anyone except the dwarves. Bleeding from my eyes. Bind me in steel. What do the dwarves say, Nick? Can they do it?
The dwarves, when you come back, they're like, well, do you have the coin? And you're like, here's my art, here's the coin. And they're like, all right, cool. And they will begin basically welding shovels all over, like, basically, they're like, stand there. And for a couple hours, they are like fitting and welding shovels into a plate mail, and then like
Just T-pose for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll do it. What do you want? You want a con check?
Yes, give me a con check to see.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
I collapse. Just like do my back first. I need to sleep.
Give me go ahead and take a debility, either weak, shaky, or sick. For just the sheer amount of like.
I'll take sick.
All right. Your body just is burdened with, like, they're like, no, hold your arms up, you pathetic weak fuck. We're doing
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm atrophying.
I can't do it. But yeah, they weld these together, and then basically it's a fitting for like, it's like a 2-hour fitting with shovels. But it comes out looking pretty cool. I think a lot of the Grave Wardens, as you head back into the, I guess we'll call it the upper camp, where all of the Hollows folks are, the Grave Wardens see you and they're kind of impressed. Like, no one's made anything quite like this before. At least, like, they've had the shovel motif, but you are like literally just making it out of shovels. And it looks really cool. I think people are also like really grateful for the leadership you demonstrated and the just combat prowess during the Hollows battle, which allowed many of them to survive directly as a
They don't
result
want
of
to
your
admit
actions.
it.
Yeah,
But I'm slowly changing the way we do things.
yeah. So I think like you're not quite getting the respect you deserve at this point from Rick. And who knows if he'll change his mind, but other people are kind of like seeing you with a new light. Yeah. Meanwhile, there are a lot of young dwarves, Basil, who are mingling around, and they all like kind of like take stock of you. They like, there's a lot of like eyes watching you. As you've been kind of like hanging around camp and doing stuff. You're very used to a lot of attention towards chives, but people are like eyeing you strangely. And the next morning, after Wick comes back and has this new shovel plate mail, you start to see dwarves who are like now kind of like traveling up to visit y'all's camp. Like there's some intermingling happening. And there are now some younger dwarves who have like lichen and moss in their, like, tucked behind their ears and in their beards, like as decoration.
After like imitating Basil having flowers in his hair.
Yeah.
I guess the first one who's like standing awkwardly close enough, Basil will walk up and like just sort of like fix it as you would someone's tie, and polish it up a little bit.
Dude, thank you so much.
And just say you look ready for the wilderness. Are you on an adventure today?
They're gonna witness ours.
They're just like starstruck. They're like, every day is an adventure.
That's so sweet.
Good for you. That's the way to live your life.
Thanks.
I took telepathy.
Yeah.
I wanna cast it on one of my teammates here. I think it's gonna be on Merrick.
Okay.
This is the morning after when we're about to go out, right? Or am I shooting too soon?
That's fine. Basil, is that all you wanted to interact with the dwarves? Or was there more?
I mean, I'd love to find out more about what they perceive of me, but I would need a couple more interactions. But I guess, like, presumably if I clean up this one kid's lichen decoration, another might line up for the same treatment, right?
Yeah, a lot of them have been watching you from afar. And this interaction makes you seem really approachable. So other young dwarves are kind of like walking up and be like, "Hey, Basil, what's it like?" I don't even know what kinds of questions they'd be interested in. I want to use this as an opportunity to learn more about Basil.
I think Basil's first reaction would be, "How dare you perceive me?"
What's it like to kill a man, Basil?
like charmed and yet also so uncomfortable that he might go try and camouflage somewhere.
Yeah, right. Like, you are someone who, in the wilderness, as long as you're not moving, like, I'm just imagining you, like, isn't it is Zoolander? He, like, dresses up like a rock or something,
Yes.
and he's just, like...
like fucking PETA in the Hunger Games.
That's it. That's what I was
like,
thinking of. Yeah.
Literally, like, okay,
Zoom.
so after the fourth kid has come up to kind of have his, like, lichen cleaned up, Basil's like, hang on one second, kind of over his head to the other ones, like, I'll be right back. And he runs around the corner and literally just blends into a wall of the cave.
And after a few minutes, they come around the corner, and one of them's like, "Where'd he go? I wanted to ask him, like, how he got so cool. Like, he fights people, but he's so fashionable. Like, he uses plants. It's so cool." And then they, like, keep going around the corner looking for you.
I feel like Basil might jump out of his camouflage and just scare the shit out of them, and then just be like, "You need to just decorate yourself in the world around you. Worth your time."
Decorate yourself with the world around you. Oh my god.
And then maybe help one of those kids camouflage themselves into the wall as well. So
Very
that he can
nice.
scare his friends.
Join me in the groove.
Yeah.
So
Chives, by the way. Is Chives like is Chives like bitter that there's attention on Basil instead of on him?
probably.
Ooh.
I mean, he's got Lynn. Like, Lynn will spend all her spare time with Chives, and so will all the other, like, kids from the Hollows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got plenty of attention, but he definitely is.
Cacophony will get jealous because Lynn's being taken.
There's definitely a scene where there's, like, tons of kids playing and Chives is there, and then he, like, turns his head and his beady little horizontal eyes, like, staring at you with all the dwarven kids, and he's just like...
You get the side eye.
Yeah.
Goat side eye.
I think, yes, Wick, this morning you can do your magic thing. Strangely enough, there is a dwarven kid that is, they are trying to set a new trend. They find what they call the white clay, and they basically paint themselves a very, very pale gray color, a lot like Wick.
Why? Are
Some
they
Lord
trying to
God,
be
that
like a
there's the
hero?
answer.
There's obviously a culture of hero worship amongst these kids. You gotta engage with it.
How much of our stories have been shared with these kids?
You walk up to the kid at one point, Wick, and he's just like,
Like, hey, the fuck you doing?
oh, you know.
Oh my fucking god. Bring it home, Buster. I'm gonna hug him.
Oh,
I was gonna say, John, I don't think you have to have your story told too often. If a community of kids shows up and there's a mystical woods person and a guy who is covered in shovels and just looks like a warrior god, like I think they would glom
That's
onto
fine.
those people pretty readily.
this is pretty cool, I guess. And he'll, like, give you a tap on the shoulder.
Alright.
I'm not one for emotion. Sorry.
I'm so emotional. Let it all in.
All right. Well, like, do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. Keep on being awesome.
We're the weirdest stoics ever. The most emotionally available stoics in the world. I went out of his fucking cave now, Nick. This is getting weird.
All right. So, you want to cast telepathy on someone.
Yeah, I need to cast it on Merrick before we go into combat. So
Okay.
it can wait until like next session, I suppose.
Yes, I have no preparation for a circular
You
battleground.
want me to make you a battle map?
Yeah, if you want to make the battle map, I'll take it,
Make a
John.
battle
I would
map.
appreciate that. I know you're very busy with your 50 games a week, but
Only 50.
only 50.
I can spare 20 minutes.
Okay. So, yeah, this might be a good place to stop. I think we'll go ahead and do some end of session, like end of arc stuff. This has been kind of a weird arc, and it sounds like you all still have like some plans for it, but let's count that as a different arc. Hello, Safety Bacon in the chat. Welcome. We are like wrapping up right now. But yeah, I want a chance to just kind of like award XP, especially since these two sessions have been very like RP heavy, and y'all have not failed a lot of rolls. So let's do our end of story arc. When you reach the end of a session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved, completely explored, no longer relevant, or otherwise. Ask the player of the character you have the bond with if they agree. If they do, mark XP and write a new bond with whomever you wish. Can everyone take a look at your bonds, and does anyone have one that they feel is resolved and wants to check in on that? Merrick, go ahead.
My bond with Wick is I will help Wick earn respect among the Moss family. And I can't abide seeing him shunned and dismissed. I feel like Wick has now achieved a new level of respect among the Moss family. Maybe not among Rick Moss, but among everybody else.
But Rick is not the only family member.
It's true.
Nice.
I feel like he is now respected, and that bond is achieved.
Nice. Go ahead and mark XP for that, unless
Okay.
John disagrees. Okay. John, you also had your hand raised.
Me and Cacophony?
Yeah?
My last thing was she is 100% contemptible. There is no reason for her to be alive.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We love each other. What can I say?
However, now that is done. There is a reason for Cacophony to be alive. I need to pay her back 150 gold.
You
Or
have written
coin.
here, Kaka has 150 coin in all caps, debt on me. Fuck.
I feel like there is a new way to engage with Cacophony that my previous bond did not let me.
Very good.
Which means we've evolved, right?
Yeah.
I guess. My bond with you went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
My bond with Wick said, I gave back a ton of swag. I'm ready to steal from him again, and I ended
True.
up giving you fucking money.
Oh my
Well,
god.
now you get to
Dude.
steal from me for free.
I do. I'm just stealing from myself at this point. No. Yeah, no, I literally none of my bonds resolved at all. Well, I mean, Basil and Chives, because we're animal homies, and that's literally all I have down because, like, that's all you ever need to have down
Mm-hmm.
for Basil and Chives, you know?
Very good.
Animal
That's
homies.
it.
I had a bond with Wick, which is I don't understand his moral compass. I need to understand it better. I do feel like I have a better handle on what his moral compass is. Even
Tell
if
me. You have to tell me now.
Even if I
'cause
don't
might
fucking-
refuse this.
What I don't understand is not where it's pointing. It's I don't understand how he makes his decisions. But I know his moral compass is pointed at his status, his family, and redemption for his previous zealotry that he feels he's being punished for constantly.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Good.
Very good. Next week, if everyone could try and not and develop a bond, advance your bond with anyone but Wick, that would be great.
I'm just a character. What can I say?
My next bond is bonding with Cacophony for working together to find ways to make decisions in this group that don't constantly put us in the worst possible situation every single time.
I'm a big fan of Team Runaway and Live.
Yeah.
That's like a super great plan. It's been really good for me up until this point, meeting you guys and then dying. Just saying.
True.
Yep.
I think I want to explore my bond with Merrick because like our whole thing is that I'm trying to get to Raven and he's been having a hard time reaching out to his god. And that's how I wanted to bond. Like I was hoping that his god would help lead me to my god.
Right.
So we need to work on that.
I feel like we've been sidetracked by events that are out of our control.
Maybe your god would be able to help with Lynn and figure out what the hell's going on with her.
Maybe y'all need to take greater control of your destinies.
How dare
What we're
you,
doing.
sir?
Yeah.
Literally
First of
what
all.
we're doing. Next time.
First of all,
Okay, once bonds have been updated, look at your alignment. If you fulfilled that alignment at least once this session, mark XP. Cacophony, leap into danger without a plan.
I'm
Yeah.
taking the XP on that
Yeah,
one.
take
Yes, I
XP.
absolutely did.
Merrick, discover a piece of knowledge from someone or something that wants to keep it hidden. I don't think so this time.
No, probably not, unless you count discovering what the Moss family sword does by observing it in combat.
I would not.
Okay.
Basil, free someone from literal or figurative bonds.
Next session.
True. Next session.
Why do you think my entire thing has been, this episode has been like, why do we need to fight? We need to start sowing discord.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
haven't freed anybody yet. I want
I mean,
to. Did I free a bunch of young dwarves from their fear of hero worship?
No.
Of wood gods?
I was
Okay.
expecting to give you XP for this session because the bond of a fate of death for all the Grave Wardens was certain, but didn't come to pass because you all intervened. So it's a very loose one. But if you want it,
I'm not taking it.
okay.
But
I'm not.
I respect.
integrity.
I respect that.
I as Basil do not feel like I freed anybody. So,
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That's fair. And then Wick, defend those weaker than you.
All of the Moss family.
Literally
Every single
anyone.
All of them.
I'm sorry, I'm taking that XP.
Yeah, take that XP and go ahead and level up for next session because I believe you just hit level 5.
I'm already level 5.
You should be level 6. I was going to say I'm 5.
Wait, your sheet says level 4.
Oh, I forgot to manually.
Oh,
update
okay.
level 5.
Then never mind. You're 1 XP away from level 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do we got?
Okay. Finally, did we learn something new and important about the world?
We found some dwarves.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. We
found
learned.
dwarves. We found allies that are willing to ally with other people and band with us against the Rust Brothers, our common enemy.
Yeah. All right. Everyone, mark XP. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, I
don't
would.
know. We killed that Vol demon on the way out.
I killed it in one hit. It wasn't notable.
Are you sure, John?
I
Because
killed
I'm
it in
level
one
4,
hit.
I have 10 XP.
You know, that bull demon actually was pretty,
There you
I'm
go.
gonna-
it was unique.
Way to
I
be a team
would
player,
not
buddy.
say that you all overcame it.
No.
And did we loot a memorable treasure? I don't believe so.
Not until next time.
Okay.
In short.
All right. Well, it sounds like John leveled up, but Merrick is
I
one
needed it.
short.
I did too.
Oh, congrats.
Hey.
Oh, shit.
Now I'm level 5.
Woo!
I tried to farm XP by rolling healing spells, but I rolled
But you
4
fucking
11s in a row.
killed it. Jesus.
Apparently, I don't need levels to be impressive, so therefore I will sit with the 4.
Perfect.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, so next time we will be trying to fight Iron Brother Bishop, depending on whether or not he'll accept Wick's challenge.
He fucking better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna demand him to.
We'll see. He might be foolish if he accepts. We'll see. You are the
Telling
fighter
a bunch of
after
yo
all.
mama jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
he's gonna do it.
Oh my god, John.
Oh, it feels good to be resolved in mind and body.
All right. Well, does anyone have any shout-outs or plugs they want to make before we head out for tonight?
Not tonight.
Andy, how's your thing going? Your
Oh, yeah.
who's-
The letter.
Your million days of
Oh,
type.
the 36 days of type. We're into numbers now. I have to finish my thing already, even though we're still posting. I'll post it into the chat so folks can see. Go check out hashtag 36 days of type if you're into typography and letter forms on Instagram.
Nice, nice. My thing appears to be frozen. Hang on one sec. There we go. I have a brief announcement, and that is that my sourdough starter that Shannon gave me and Andy has helped me nurture. My sourdough starter, Clint Eastwood, not the actor, that my sourdough starter has passed away.
No, what did you do?
I neglected it for like months
Okay.
because I couldn't make anything that turned out good without Andy's direct intervention, and I got frustrated and stopped.
Well, we don't know anything about that here. We didn't eat hockey pucks for a whole year. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
Nick, I'll make you a son of Wheatley that you can
Thank you.
work on.
Thank you. Maybe I'll
You
have
don't
to
have
get.
any of the
s- may-
dried?
What's that?
Do you have any of the dried stuff left that I sent you, or did you use it all?
No, I used it all. But maybe you
Oh.
should send me more, and then I can make a son of Wheatley and RGB or RBG.
Yeah, the combined progeny. I'm so excited. Yes.
Yeah, that could be very good, as long as I
That might
feed
be
it
really
properly.
interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So we've been Fable Table. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight or watching our VODs on YouTube. If you are watching later, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. Come hang out with us in the Discord server. We do bread talk and talk about all kinds of other stuff. I just beat Ascension 20 on Slay the Spire, but I did it off stream, so it was kind of like a little anticlimactic for the community, but very exciting for me. I've been doing Sudoku. We have a new follower that I met the other day that really wants me to like learn chess with them because they're a 1600 ranked player and I'm only like 850.
Oh
And they're willing to teach me some stuff, so that could be fun. But yeah, we will be back next week with whatever the fuck is about to happen because,
Oh boy.
oh my god. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
We'll watch Bad Decisions on Fable Table.
Oh,
Nah.
we're gonna
Season-
kill them, guys. We're gonna destroy. I'm gonna 1v1.
Oh yeah, it's Safety Bacon in the chat right now. Welcome,
Hey,
Safety
yeah.
Bacon.
Oh.
You've tuned into our story 13 episodes deep into some weird lore. I hope it's been very entertaining for you, and I look forward to playing chess with you. At some point in the future, I will message you about that whenever I find time. All right, have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
I